God made me. I am wonderfully made. Oh yes, God made me. I am wonderfully made. Oh yes, God made me. I am wonderfully made. I am wonderfully made by God. He gave me one head. He gave me one nose. He gave me one mouth, two eyes, two ears, two hands, two legs, big body and neck, big body and neck, big body and neck. Hello guys. Yeah, good day and thank you for watching. Those of you that have liked my first video, thank you. Those of you that have greeted me, that have commented, thank you. I still want to encourage you to keep watching, to keep commenting, to keep liking. So thank you, and today I want to speak briefly on how I found myself into non-profit setting. I know you have been waiting. So this is my journey. I'm not going to take your time. I'm just going to give you a brief, and then we'll continue the next episode in this video. So don't mind me, I caught flu. It's not COVID though. So I am stronger now. So this is how it goes. I went to university, I studied geology. I did not dream of doing anything NGO. I didn't from the beginning. In fact, I never knew there was anything like non-governmental organization. I never knew, even while in school, I never knew. So, as a normal student, you know, when you are in school, if you are studying that kind of course, yeah, I'm going to work in NNPC, Shell, Chevron, and all that. Or I'm going to work in mining companies, or if you want to go into civil service, I'll be working in solid mineral department or parastatals, or name it. So I had similar ambition. In fact, I wanted to go into solid mineral development. So that was my ambition. I never had anything about NGO. So I went to school, graduated, went for service. So it was while in camp that, you know how camp is now. Different groups will come with different sensitization and all that. Then at the end they will ask you, okay, if you're interested, you come and enroll. So that was how this group came, under UNICEF, NYSC, in partnership with NYSC. Then AF, UNICEF, in partnership with federal government and NYSC. Because then the rate of prevalent rate for HIV in Nigeria was very, very high. And in some states, they were leading. So that was a strategy that was adopted to create sensitization, awareness, for people to really know and all that. So that was how this group came. They did the 2-3 hours sensitization in the camp, and they made a call that if you're interested, okay, this is where we'll be, come and enroll. I had a longing in my heart. I had that feeling. So I went and I enrolled. Lo and behold, we were more than 60, we were up to 60 that they enrolled. So they took us through the preliminary, gave us a post-test to test our knowledge of understanding of what HIV, different things and all that. So we did it. First week, second week, the training was over. They gave us certificate. I still have the certificate in my file. In fact, I normally present it anytime they ask if I have done any voluntary work before. Yeah. It's a document that I am proud of because that's where it started. Thank you for your words. It's not now that everything has been bastardized. So thank God. So that was how we finished that 2 weeks training in camp under that platform. So we were told that no matter the course you studied, as far as you went through this 2 weeks training, automatically you have become a trainer. So we were trainers. That was training of trainers. That they were going to post us to schools. And that when we get to the school, we were going for that 1 year. We were expected to train 40 students to do a step down of work, the 2 weeks training to the students. So automatically they become paid educators in school and in their communities. So that was how the journey started. We went, finished from camp, went to the community where I was posted. I won't tell you the name of the school. I won't tell you the name of the state so that you will not start. But just know this is how the story is. So we went to there. We were two. They posted it in pairs. So we were 2 ladies. So we went, did the preliminary, did the recruitment of the students and started the training and all that, coupled with our primary assignment. I taught biology. Don't ask me to go and teach again. So I taught biology. So plus my pay educator's job. It's a job. It was a job for me. So I did it. And then we trained the students. We taught them a lot of things based on the training manual. So we were also doing activities in school to, carry the activities to other schools around and all that. So we will always conduct community sensitization. At a point, we took the events, the program to other nearby communities and I was enjoying the whole thing. So I said, wow. So it was a thing of joy for me. I was doing it with all pleasure and I put in my best. I did it wholeheartedly and I enjoyed it. I learned a lot. So that was how the journey started. And then the community where I was, the Corpus Lodge we were using, was donated by a member of the community to the school because the owner of the apartment wasn't in Nigeria. He relocated to UK with his family. So, and he has not come home for decades. So in fact, from findings later on, I discovered that for over 30 years, the man had not visited Nigeria. But something happened that year. He visited Nigeria that year that I was serving. He came 3 to 4 months to our passing out. So the main purpose of his coming was to come and establish an NGO. So when he came to our pastor. He said, wow, who are those people? So we got talking and the 3 of us, we were 3 in my batch. So 2 ladies and a guy. That guy is watching my video now, but the lady, I don't know where he is till today. I lost contact with her. But the other guy is watching me. So if you are watching me, I want you to comment. So that was how we got talking with this, our landlord that we are meeting for the first time. So he was happy. We got, he said, wow, what did you study? What are you teaching in school? What are you doing? So we explained and all that. And by the time I now told him that we are also paid educators, 2 of us are paid educators, this is what we do. And all, I said, wow, that's interesting. That actually why he came to Nigeria was to come and set up an NGO. That if out of the 3 of us, anybody that is interested to work, that he was ready to employ us. And out of the 3 of us, I had already made up my mind that I was not going back home. In fact, I told my parents when I was leaving my state I said, I'm not coming back after service. Then I believe that I'll get a job. So I will only come and visit you. Maybe 2, 3, 4 days, and I'll come back. But I'm sure that I'll get a job after my service. And that was how it happened. So I told him that that I'm ready to stay. And another prerequisite was that he needed someone that is a computer, that has understanding of computer. So out of the 3 of us, I was the only one that had understanding of the computer. I did it while I was waiting for service after we finished. I graduated from school. So that time period, so I used it to go and enroll in one roadside computer. I don't know whether they are still existing. So that was what gave me an edge over my fellow corps members, even though they didn't want to stay. I had already made up my mind that I was going to stay. But then, without that computer too, maybe I wouldn't have gotten that opportunity. So that was how I got my job, even before passing out from NYSC. So the job was waiting for me. So after we finished and, we passed out, I passed out September, and October I started to work. So the only thing the man was able to do was what? He only had the name. That was all. Nothing documented, nothing. He only had the name. I won't mention the name. So that was what happened. I moved from the village where I was to the state capital. I went and stayed with a friend. So that was how the whole thing started. The man took me to the office, a very big office, not equipped though. The only thing that was there, it was his garage that he converted to an office because he was not in town. So he built another apartment in town, aside from the one in the village that he donated to the community. So it was just an open office with just a table and a chair and a desktop computer. So that was all. He told me, this is your office. This is your working tool and some files. 2 weeks later, he went back to the UK. So we were only communicating via emails and all that. I always go to the cyber cafe to send emails and receive his too. So then there was no smartphone. Did I even have a phone? I didn't even have a phone. I did not. So I will always go to Nitel then to go and you understand what I'm trying to say. So one thing led to the other. I started, what did I do? I had to go to the cyber cafe. I went online. I Googled, trying to see how organizations operate, what they do, and all that. Okay, another good thing that he did was he told me, okay, this is the group of persons that I want this organization's program to affect. That is the target audience, the primary target audience. So he told me, these are the people, set of people that the organization's program wants to, that will be their organization's beneficiary. So with that, all my research, I was looking out for programs that I could adapt to suit the organization. So I developed the mission, I developed the vision statement, I developed the goals, the objective, everything. I did it. God help me. It was a task. But because I had already given my word to the man that I was going to work, I never knew what the future holds for me. But I saw it as a training ground for me. So I wrote letters of introduction to other organizations around. He had already registered the organization, know that. So I wrote to different ministries that I knew that based on our target audience, we could do similar things together as a ministry and all that. So I did all that, and the letters I sent to other organizations for partnership and all that, each time they had workshops, trainings, they would always invite me. So from that workshop and training, I also learned a lot. I learned. I always learn, how to do things, how to organize program, a lot of things. So it was a learning process for me. I learned. Sometimes I will meet some of the heads of organizations. I'll be asking questions. Actually, what I was doing the job of a founder. I did it with my whole heart. God knows. So I was able to recruit volunteers. There were schools around, so I would go there with the knowledge of what I was doing as a paid educator. I also, brought that in. I went to do schools around. I was a one-man riot squad. I could do everything for myself. I was the accountant. I was, everything I was doing myself. So I would go conduct talks in schools and all that. So some of those students, they became interested. They would go, Auntie, we want to join you and all that. So I welcomed them into the organization as students, volunteers. So sometimes if I'm going for community awareness, I will, call on them. They will join me, and like that. So I was digging, I was grinding, I was, doing a lot of things. So I managed that organization for over a year and some months. At a point, the center could no longer hold between myself and my boss. So I recruited some dangerous volunteers that, triggered a kind of issues between us. So I couldn't stay again. So I left. Before I left, I met an organization, one of those organizations that will always call me, invite me for programs and all that. So I met the founder and I explained everything to him. I said, Paraventure, if there is any vacancy or if he's recruiting that he should let me know. I would like to apply. So that was how I left the organization. Before I left, where the organization was, I told you that it's apartments, so there were other rooms that he rented out. So there was this man that was working with Federal Ministry of Solid Minerals, and he was a tenant. So we got talking, and he knew that I studied geology. This geology. That's how I was saying that if I had known from the beginning, maybe I wouldn't have gone to study that course. It's a very good course, but it did not add. It didn't help me the line where I am currently. If I had known before then, maybe I would have gone to read courses that are related to what I'm doing currently, maybe like social works, sociology, public health, and all that. So immediately the man, they say, well, what are you doing in NGU? I beg, go and study, go and do what you studied in school. That he has a friend in Jos who has a mining company that he is going to link me up with him. In fact, he said I should give him my CV. So I gave him my CV and he went to Jos and submitted it to the man. So that was how it started. I left the organization that I started with, that I was like the founder, because I started everything, I did everything from the scratch. So I left, and then after I left, I got that job in Jos. They called me for an interview, and I left. So where I was before that interview is another story that I will give us, that will lead to something else, another lesson for my listeners. So I left the field in the non-profit. I now went to Jos to go and work in the area of my training as a professional geologist in that company. So I was employed as the field officer, geology 1. So that was how I will tell you, that's another story entirely, how I left and came back. So I hope you have learned. I hope you have been able to pick one or two things from my story. That is the beginning of my career in non-profit. So I want you to keep a day with me. I will bring you another episode. What happened in Jos, how I came back and all that. So if you are listening to me, I want you to keep a date with this channel. I want you to comment. I want you to share it. So thank you and bye-bye.